What's up guys, this is Tcg Sam here, and I'm coming at you guys today with a pure budget 60 card SHADDOLL deck profile. So like, this completely budget, like everything in here is super cheap, and it's very competitive and can still definitely pull off some crazy plays. But before we begin, I just want to ask you guys to please remember, if you haven't already, leave a like, comment, subscribe, because it really helps keep me motivated to keep posting more videos like this. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So starting off with the main deck, obviously triple Squamata, triple Regional Wendy. These like the core SHADDOLL monsters that you want to be seeing like every hand for your fusion plays. Not much more to explain there. Definitely play those at 3. I also decided to play triple Hedgehog because in a pure build, I feel like the only way you really win is obviously through your fusions, and you want to keep up hand advantage with Hedgehog searching other SHADDOLL monsters. And also we play a greater number of SHADDOLL monsters in here, and like different names for, so like you can search different utility SHADDOLL monsters for the right situation. Next up, Double Beast. This is pretty standard. You don't really want to draw this without a fusion spell. It's pretty dead without it because you can't even set it. But this is very good to set off Regional Wendy, or just send off when you're digging for something good. Next up, may seem a little weird, but I played Double Aerial. I think especially this format with the graveyard so prevalent, Aerial's effect is just so good. If you summon a construct on your opponent's turn, normally the only disruption it would be able to send is something like it's like a dragon to pop a back row, but like now you send Arrow, you have a triple DD Crow, which is just super powerful. And of course now with like graveyard manipulation being more prevalent, people are playing cards like DD Crow and stuff like that. So if you just set this, you get a recovery play a lot more often, which is just really good. And I just think Double Aerial is pretty good. You guys may even want to bump it up to 3, because you can play something like El SHADDOLL Ainoia Talus, the water SHADDOLL monster, in your extra deck, which should theoretically be very good against Drytrons. So yeah, I just personally like 2 because I really don't like playing this card at 3. That's just a personal thing. 1 Cat SHADDOLL Chaos, just a searchable light SHADDOLL. Obviously doesn't do much else, unfortunately. Play 1 SHADDOLL Hound. This one is a pretty cool tech. It's another SHADDOLL name that can act as recovery if you set it off of your Wendy. If you have like, let's say your Schism in graveyard or something, you're able to recur it back with like this or something. And another cool thing is you can like switch a Nibiru token. If they Nibiru you, you can like send it to Grace, switch the token to attack mode, and it becomes really big. And it protects your window if you fuse on your opponent's turn and they like commit to something like a Gear Feed or something. You can change it just to defense mode, and they use their 1 special summon and they can't out your window anymore, which is just really good. Falco for the grind game, not much to say there. And just 1 dragon. I only like 1 dragon in the main deck because they're still combo prevalent. Obviously you can side the second dragon. Dragon's very good. Acts as disruption as well if you set it off of your other cards. That's it for the SHADDOLLs. Next up, for the normal summons, I play triple Mathematician, 1 Armageddon Knight. So this is a budget build. You don't have cards like Ecclesia or Alistair, so I decided to play these. I think 4 normal summons, especially in 60, is a lot more necessary. You do want to see at least 1 of these, and just I felt 3 wasn't enough. Armageddon Knight can send like your SHADDOLL monsters, so like it pretty much does. It's like Mathematician, just a little better than Armageddon Knight, but Armageddon Knight kind of just acts as a 4th Mathematician. Very good. Next up, for the non SHADDOLL cards, I play triple Lunalight Black Sheep. This is to discard and search for polymerization to act as like 3 extra fusion spells, because the deck, especially in 60, is gonna lack fusion spells. So you definitely want to be able to maximize your chances of drawing a fusion spell to be able to actually play. At worst, it's a dark attribute for Allure of Darkness, which I play, or your window plays. And then next, 1 of each of the clowns. I still like this package because obviously more light targets for you to summon construct more consistently, but also going second allows you to set up more of your link plays. Even though it's a budget deck, I didn't put Borosword in here, but if you have the budget for it, you can definitely put it in there and it helps you O2K a lot easier. But if not, it helps you with your link plays as well, which is just really good. In terms of hand traps, I only play 6. I play triple Veiler and triple Gamma and the Driver. You put something like Ghost Ogre in here. I just feel like Ghost Ogre is very not too good this format. But if you feel like you need more hand traps that are budget and light, obviously you can put Ghost Ogre. If you have the money for Nibiru, definitely I'd put it in here. But I think these are the cheapest ones and the ones that are really good. Should be applicable in most if not all matchups that you play. Then finally, I played Double Edgem Chain. Shout outs to Team King of Games. I saw this on his channel. I felt this was a really good idea because you play it with something like triple Rifle Patchwork, which searches an edge chain and it searches a polymerization. So it gives you a fusion spell plus a dark target. And then once you fuse this away, you get another Patchwork for your next turn as a follow-up, which is just pretty powerful actually. So I really do like this package. Not much more to say there. Obviously, triple Shaddol Fusion, triple L Shaddol Fusion, the core cards of your deck. You definitely need to max out on them to be able to see them more often. Triple Poly, like I mentioned, because you have Black Sheep and what's it called, Fight for Patchwork to search them out. Just more fusion spells. Even if you just draw it alone with like Shaddol monsters, it's definitely not terrible because you can like use Skomata to dump like El Shaddol or something, and like just have it or be recurred with by linking it off into Gravity Controller or something. And then I decided to play 3 Super Polymerization. It's definitely a good going first or going second card. Get out a lot of stuff this format, out Dragoon, which is important. It lets you pretty much play, quote unquote, play out of VFD, because they'll VFD you, but if you just set a Shaddol monster, set Super Poly, oh look, you have a window on their turn, and when they activate like a Virtual Worlds card, you just chain Super Poly, fuse away the VFD plus your Shaddol monster, make a window, and then they're committed to that Virtual World, and their Choo-Choo can't even pop your window, so like they have to draw Qinglong or something to out it. And that's why it's just really good. Obviously going second, very good as well. Next I play 2 Allure of Darkness. I feel like the hands that are really bad are when you draw like a bunch of Shaddol monsters, and most of them are dark, so you can play like Allure of Darkness, but there are also other dark targets like Luna, like Black Sheep, and Edge Chain if those happen to be dead in your hand. Play 2. You don't really have to see it to win, which is why I'm not maxing out on it. I think 2 is fine. These were, to be honest, these were like the 59th to 60th card. You guys can play whatever you want in here. I just felt like Allure of Darkness for some more consistency is good. And then 1 Foolish Burial, obviously, Honorary Shaddol card, send anything you want. Then for the Shaddol traps, this is where like a majority of your disruption is going to be coming from, is playing with the traps. So like, you gotta play double Resh because you're using 1 for your standard combo, a construct combo. Shaddol Schism, very standard, very powerful card, continuous trap. All of you know what it does. Shaddol Core and a Pure Ball I think is very good because you're able to send it off something like Skomata, and you're just able to add back any of your spells and traps from the graveyard, and of course to access any attribute when it's used for future materials, so that can really help. And the final 3 cards, I personally like Triple Paleozoic Dynamiscus because I like its flexibility where you're able to out face-up spells or traps as well as monsters, so access disruption as well as quote-unquote like back or removal. So you can get rid of Cursed Outland. If your opponent activates like Conquistador, you can chain this, banish it, and they don't get a pop or whatever. That's just really good. But of course, this is a flex spot. You guys can play whatever you want. 3 more hand traps. You can play like triple Torrential, triple Sinister Shadow Games, triple Lost One, even if you're on a very tight budget or something. So like, it's just so flexible. You can play anything you want in here in these 3 slots, in my opinion. But another benefit of Dynamiscus, when you activate a trap, you got to bring it back as a free body for linked material, which may or may not come up. But yeah, I just really like Dynamiscus. That's it for the main deck, 60 cards like I mentioned. For the extra deck, obviously triple Construct. I also have to play triple Window, and this is gonna seem a little weird to some people because like, oh, you only do need 2 windows to win. You make 1, obviously your opponent might out it, but it's hard for them to out the second one. Like pretty much the third one will like theoretically never come up. But the reason I put triple Window is this is like your main win condition, one of your main win conditions in pure Shaddolls, because you don't have access to like Alistair and the Invoke Engine or the Dogmatica cards. Most of the time against combo, you're going to be relying against El Shaddol Window. Obviously, Clone and your traps have some applications, but I just feel like El Shaddol Window at 3. You just never want to run out of these in your extra deck. And like, I also noticed the access of dark monsters in the deck, so you always want to be able to fusion them off. So like, if you have a dead Black Sheep or a dead Edgem Chain, like you're going to be making Window a lot with it. So I think Window is fine. But if you guys don't like triple Window, you can cut it down to 2 and put anything else in that slot. Then double Clone, this card is incredible, honestly. Especially when you bump up Nail Shuttle Aerial to 2, plus add Cat Shuttle Chaos, like you have more opportunities to make this. This card is just so powerful, not much more I have to say about it. If your opponent plays Maximus against you, yeah, you're pretty happy most of the time. And then 1 Shekinaka. This was like also another flex slot that I felt was good in a budget deck because you have like Mathematician and stuff, and Shekinaga is also quote unquote disruption. But if you guys don't like it, you can put something else like a target for Maximus. So if they Maximus you, if you really want to, you can put in like a Nova and Mechaba engine, or you can just put an Elder Entity Entis in this spot or something. Just with her when they Dogmatic and Maximus you send Aclone and whatever you put in here. Or the Chimera Rafflesia can actually be pretty good if you want. But I just personally thought Shekinaga is good, and it's very, very budget friendly because it comes in the structure decks already. Now for the one Super Poly target, I put in Starving Venom. I think this is the only one you need. Dark Monster is going to be the most prevalent that you're future. Super Polying away. You guys want, you can put Mudrake in a Swamp too. That's another flex spot. You can take out the second window, or you can take out the Shekinaga for that. But Starving Venom I think is definitely needed. Because you can also use like your Shell monsters plus their monster to make that right attribute of Shaddol, if that made any sense. So like use their light monster like Conductor to make a Construct, or use their dark monster like VFD to make Winda if necessary. And next up for the Lynx Gravity Controller, I really love this card in this deck. Not much more I have to say about that. You essentially can search any Shaddol Splatter Trap with Construct in this. It's just really powerful. Cross Sheep, obviously, because you're playing a fusion deck, it's very, very good. Shaddol Construct, I think with the access of flip monsters in this deck, Shaddol Construct becomes really, really powerful because of the light, obviously, and it gives you a follow-up every single turn, which is just so strong. Next I'll play One Nightmare Unicorn. Obviously it just got reprinted as a rare, so you don't mind the secret rare. You can play a rare copy. It should be very, very cheap. I like any Link 3 that requires 2+ generic monsters, because when you bring something back with Cross Sheep, you can just link Cross Sheep and that into a generic Link 3. And I thought Nightmare Unicorn would be the best one. It's the most generic one, the most powerful one, in my opinion. And then finally for your Link 4, I played Borlo Dragon. Here you can put something like Appaloosa if you wanted, because going first you can make that if you open the Construct combo, but I felt Appaloosa was a little pricey for this budget, so I just put in Borlo Dragon. Borlo Dragon's actually pretty great. You can out stuff like Dragoon, and like you can steal some of your opponent's like most powerful monsters, which is honestly just incredible. Really, you could like steal an Eldritch, make their spells and traps dead or something. You can still like a Dryden after baiting it out or something. And of course, like you can't target it with monster effects, so like Dryden doesn't work against it and stuff like that. So Borlo Dragon, very, very good, very budget friendly as well. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for me, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know what you guys, if you guys would change anything, if you guys would add anything, what you guys thought of the deck profile. I just want to bring you guys a very budget friendly deck profile that I found very, very fun to play, and it's still quite competitive in today's format. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and stay tuned for like a test hand / combo video of this. I mean, if we want to see more duels with this, where I take it into high rated dueling book and we play some duels, just to show you guys that this deck really is competitive while being lots of fun and very budget friendly at the same time. So yeah, let me know if you want to see that in the comments below. But I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, stay subscribed, leave a like, comment, and yeah, don't forget, if you haven't already, you can still send me replays where I will commentate over it or feature it on the channel to hopefully make us all better players. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you soon.